David E. Taylor had built a reputation as a spiritual leader who promised hope, wealth, and miracles to anyone who believed in him. Thousands of people followed him, attending his gatherings, donating large sums of money, and trusting every word he spoke. On the surface, he appeared charismatic, confident, and genuinely committed to changing lives. But behind closed doors, things were very different. Whispers began to circulate about secret bank accounts, manipulated followers, and promises that never materialized. People started to wonder, was David E. Taylor truly a messenger of faith, or was there a darker side to the man they all trusted? The scale of the operation shocked even the most skeptical observers. Allegations pointed to a massive $50 million scheme involving blind faith, deception, and exploitation. In this story, we will take you through the rise, the secrets, and the dramatic fall of one of the most influential and controversial leaders of his time. David E. Taylor was not just any spiritual leader. He was a man who knew exactly how to connect with people. With a calm yet powerful voice, he could make anyone feel seen, heard, and inspired. He often shared stories of his own life struggles, painting himself as someone who had overcome impossible odds through faith and determination. This made followers feel a deep personal connection to him, believing he understood their pain and struggles. Over time, David became known for his motivational speeches, workshops, and spiritual retreats. People came to him seeking guidance, hope, and a promise that their lives could be transformed. While many admired his public generosity and confidence, very few saw the private side of him, one that was controlling, strategic, and highly calculated. Behind the smiles and sermons, he managed every detail of his followers' lives, from their donations to their personal choices, creating an environment where questioning him was almost impossible. This contrast between his public image and private control was what allowed him to rise so quickly and maintain such a loyal following. David E. Taylor's influence did not grow overnight. What started as small local gatherings soon transformed into large conferences attracting thousands of people from across the country. He had a unique ability to make everyone in the room feel like they were part of something special, a chosen group destined for spiritual breakthroughs and personal success. As his following grew, so did the devotion of his followers. They believed that by giving more of their time, energy, and money, they were investing not just in the church, but in their own future. The promises were tempting: miraculous healings, financial prosperity, and a sense of belonging that many felt they had never experienced before. Slowly, the group began to function like a tightly knit community, where loyalty was rewarded and doubts were discouraged. Many followers reported that they felt an unexplainable pull to stay, even when small warning signs appeared. Restrictions on outside information, rules about communication, and secrecy around finances all became normalized. In this way, what started as a movement of hope gradually became a highly controlled environment, with David E. Taylor at the center, directing every step of the journey for his followers. As the years went by, small cracks began to appear in the image of David E. Taylor's organization. Followers started noticing things that didn't add up. There were promises of high returns on spiritual investments that never materialized and financial records that were impossible to trace. Some followers reported being pressured to donate more money than they could afford, often with the message that their faith depended on it. Others shared stories of being cut off from family and friends who questioned the group, creating a sense of isolation. Behind the scenes, Taylor controlled not just the finances, but many aspects of his followers' personal lives, dictating how they should think, act, and even speak. Whispers about secret bank accounts, offshore investments, and unaccounted funds began to circulate, though many dismissed them at first, unwilling to believe the man they trusted could do such things. Small incidents, journalists asking questions, former members speaking out online, hinted that all was not as it seemed. The tension grew quietly at first, but the stage was being set for a dramatic revelation that would shake the entire organization. The first signs of a formal investigation began quietly, with tips from concerned former followers and suspicious financial activity catching the attention of authorities. The FBI started to monitor the organization closely, looking for evidence of fraud and misconduct. Surveillance, document analysis, and interviews with ex-members slowly painted a picture that was far more serious than anyone had imagined. While David E. Taylor continued preaching with confidence, unaware, or perhaps unfazed by the scrutiny, investigators pieced together a trail of questionable transactions, secret accounts, and misleading claims. The tension between the seemingly unstoppable leader and the quiet, meticulous investigation grew palpable. Followers remained largely in the dark, still loyal and trusting their spiritual guide, while a small number of insiders began to realize that the foundation they had built their lives upon might be a carefully constructed illusion. Each new discovery by authorities added pressure to an organization that had appeared invincible, setting the stage for a dramatic confrontation that no one would forget. The date of David E. Taylor's arrest was nothing short of dramatic. Early in the morning, FBI agents quietly surrounded his headquarters, preparing to execute the long-awaited warrant. News of the raid spread quickly, leaving followers in shock and disbelief. Many could not reconcile the charismatic leader they trusted with the allegations of massive fraud and manipulation. As agents moved through the building, seizing documents, computers, and assets, the atmosphere was tense and surreal. Taylor himself was reportedly calm, maintaining a composed exterior, but the reality of the charges against him could no longer be ignored. Social media exploded with reactions, some expressing outrage and betrayal, others defending him blindly. Headlines shouted about a $50 million cult operation, leaving the public stunned. For thousands of followers, the arrest marked a turning point, forcing them to confront the truth about the organization they had devoted their lives to, and the man they had once believed could do no wrong. In the weeks and months following David E. Taylor's arrest, the impact on his followers was devastating. Many felt a deep sense of betrayal, struggling to come to terms with the realization that their faith had been manipulated. Families were torn apart, friendships shattered, and financial losses left lasting scars. Some followers defended him, unable to let go of the man they had trusted for years, while others completely severed ties, vowing never to return. The community that had once felt so united became divided, with debates, accusations, and heartbreak dominating conversations both online and offline. Legal proceedings began, with charges filed and investigations continuing, adding another layer of tension and uncertainty. Amid the chaos, former followers shared emotional testimonies, describing how their lives had been shaped, and in some cases, harmed, by the organization. The fallout was not just financial or legal, it was deeply personal, shaking the foundations of trust, faith, and identity for everyone involved. The story of David E. Taylor serves as a powerful reminder of the dangers of blind trust and the influence charismatic leaders can have over devoted followers. While many were drawn to him for hope, inspiration, and spiritual guidance, the reality revealed how easily faith can be exploited for personal gain. It asks us to question how far we are willing to go in the name of belief, and to remember the importance of critical thinking, transparency, and accountability. For those who experienced the fallout, it was a painful but necessary lesson about resilience, self-awareness, and the courage to step away from harmful situations. Ultimately, this story is not just about deception or fraud. It is about human vulnerability, the complexities of trust, and the need to seek truth even when it challenges the people or institutions we hold dear. For viewers, it leaves a lasting question. How would you protect your faith and your life if someone you trusted turned out to be living a lie?